ESPN hates Tennessee. No one's gonna say it, but like I will. Like they hate us. They're not like they completely took Hooker out of the race after he torn his ACL, and he was the Heisman favorite. So, and then who they handed to? Who they handed to? What's his name? He plays for the Commanders now. No, he did good his first year, and then his second year they just tanked really bad. Hello, everybody. I'm O'Cold, and I've got Alex Moss with me, and this is our 9th episode of Inside the Huddle podcast. I'm so excited. You can follow us on Instagram on Inside Huddle podcast, and let's get right into it. So, starting us off, I wanted to talk about the Pitt Georgia State game. Obviously, Haynes King is a heck of a quarterback. Didn't really have his best game, in that 42-28 loss. So, moving forward, what does this mean for Pitt, really? It doesn't really shake up the bracket too much, as that's all anybody's really worried about right now, this late in the year. But, they're the 15th ranked team. Obviously, they're going to drop a lot, losing to an unranked team like Pitt. But, Pitt has shown they can compete against some really good teams this year. Obviously, they're not as great as they were a few years back, but, they're starting to get there. So, even if this doesn't do too much for them, what does this mean for them going, extending even into next year, as a momentum and building on this team?
Yeah, obviously, it was a huge step for them, taking down Georgia Tech, who was ranked, and they were undefeated for most of the year. It definitely helps. And, just watching, they had control for almost the whole game. They were up 21-0 in the first quarter, and then by halftime, it was about 28-0. They pushed it through the game. And, for winning a game on the road in the ACC, it's a big step, especially, Pitt taking down a ranked Georgia Tech. It's a big step for them. It obviously gives them momentum for the next last few games, and it's a big improvement. Obviously, Pitt's had a few decent games that they've won this year, and it's kind of the ACC still up for grabs, right? For Georgia Tech, though, it hurts. Obviously, they had to they were in title contention. The people thought they could be in the playoffs. They thought they were going to be they could be ACC championship contender, and this kind of just hurts them, right? It just obviously puts a whole strike onto their team, and it knocks them. It takes them out. So it's disappointing for them. They fought hard for almost this whole season, and it just kind of falls apart at the end. But that's what college football is about. You could build something up for so long in a season, and then it all can crumble at the end. And that's what happened here for Georgia Tech today, or this weekend.
All right. Yeah, some great intake on that. And, moving into the next game, Texas versus Arkansas. Taylor Green had some trouble with his hamstrings, in the early bit of the game, into the second half a lot. So they put the backup kid in. And honestly, he looked really, really shaken to me. He was not very cool under pressure. He got into a rhythm as the game went on. But his first pass was a dud. And I'm not even trying to be, I'm not trying to sugarcoat this at all, but he just didn't look ready out there. And I don't know what this means for Taylor Green, when he leaves the team. What is this he's probably going to transfer. He can go to better schools. He can afford that for himself. But what does it mean for Arkansas, obviously taking that loss? And I don't know if you want this guy at quarterback. It kind of scares me a little bit, for Arkansas. They're trying to find a coach. They're trying to find a quarterback. There's a lot of teams right now in that position. So, obviously you've got a lot of guys leaving in the league. You've got a lot of coaching carousel drama going on right now. You've got Lane Kiffin choosing between LSU and Florida. And we're going to get into that later in the episode. I've got a lot to say about that. But, just what does it mean for Arkansas in their struggle and their just constant need for momentum?
Yeah, well, I would say even in this game, they kept it competitive, obviously with the score 37-52. They had answers, right? They had explosive early starts, and it just looked like their momentum was there in the game. They had some late scoring drives and everything, but their issue was Arch Manning. Arch Manning came out and absolutely
Arch Manning went wild on Arkansas.
This team. I'm going to talk about it. He had 4 passing touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown, and they even wanted to throw in a Philly special play there, and he got a receiving touchdown as well. 6 total touchdowns for Arch, the kid.
Just a little tidbit. Sorry, I'm not going to interrupt you anymore, but just a little tidbit. That's the first time that's been done since 2012 in the SEC. So that's a huge deal.
Yeah, 100%. It was an all-out offensive showcase in this game today. The thing that kind of took Arkansas out of the game, I think, is when that strip sack got returned for a touchdown. It just kind of swung the momentum of the game in the second half. And Texas just kept building up from there. And you could tell Arkansas, they kind of struggled from that point on. Texas can score. I mean, that's my takeaway from this game.
Yeah,
Texas can score. They're going to be up there.
You cannot underestimate that offense.
100%.
Like, even if they have a bad game, they're going to come back the next week, and Steve Sarkisian is going to have them motivated.
Right.
So he's going to coach that team up. And Arch Manning is going to go wild on you if you underestimate this team. So, moving into next year, like, I am super pumped for this Texas team. They have got so much talent. They've got so much skill. They've got so much potential and ability. Like, I see them winning a national championship 2-3 years down the road. Obviously, you've got that's a conversation you got Ohio State in. And,
100%.
it's saying a lot on my part, but I have so much faith in this team.
100%. It's going to be fun to watch them. Hopefully, we can see more for them later on in this season and see if they can make the playoffs. We don't know, but we'll see. Another game I wanted to talk about, because let's talk about number 9, Notre Dame and Syracuse. Notre Dame, absolute domination. It was disrespectful.
Nah, bro.
It was
borderline
disrespectful.
I was playing a basketball game over the weekend, man, and my coach is like, we're not going to blah this team too bad. We're going to win with class. Nothing about that game said class.
Nothing.
If you blow out a team multiplying the points they scored by 10, 70-7, or 70-7, that's a statement game right there. I don't care if it's Syracuse. That's a statement game. You are saying, we will do this to anybody if you try to walk on us.
Well, let's talk about it. Obviously, Notre Dame put up 21 points early, all off defensive drives. They didn't even touch offense once in the first part of the game. It was all defensive interceptions, pick six, and whatnot. And then, they piled up the points early. Then Syracuse obviously was a little decimated. They had the injuries and they couldn't match the speed, right? You could just tell in the game they weren't able to match. Jeremiah Love absolutely, my mic, sorry. He exploded, 171 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns on 8 carries, Oak. 8 carries, and this kid dominated this drive.
I think everybody knew coming into the year Jeremiah Love was going to be a threat.
Oh, 100%.
That game, he hit a new peak. He was out there running all over the place like Barry Sanders, making everything out of nothing. He was just such a great backfield creator. Like, if he saw a lane and it closed, he had another one he could just go to. The blocking was exceptional.
100%. He played well, and the offense
set up Jeremiah Love. Like, if he runs like that next year, Notre Dame will win games. And I'm saying games.
100%. I think Notre Dame deserves that playoff spot. A lot of people are wanting Miami. They say Miami's a better team. They deserve it more and whatnot. I'm going to stay Notre Dame. I don't think Miami.
I'm going Miami. I'm taking Miami. Carson Beck is a heck of a quarterback. He's been struggling a little bit, but if he can just get back to that rhythm he had early on in the year before the issues started coming out, I'm telling you, not a lot of people will like what I'm about to say, but Carson Beck is a good QB. I know he's not what you guys may want or demand, but he's still decent enough.
Tell that to him when he threw 4 interceptions against Louisville, but
Okay.
just saying.
Okay.
And he likes to put the blame on his teammates. He doesn't take accountability. Carson Beck is a joke. He doesn't take accountability for losses. Obviously, you can have blames for things. If you're a coach, right, you're going to find things. You're a quarterback, buddy. Your job is to lead the team. You're not putting down.
There is definitely an accountability issue there.
100%. And that's,
I think, look,
maybe that's his flip from when he changed from Georgia to Miami. Maybe there was a cultural change or something. But you're the quarterback. Lead the team. If your teammates make mistakes, tell them. Don't bash them on live television. It's disrespectful and it's disgusting. Carson Beck is a joke, and I do not want to see Miami in this playoffs.
Dang. Okay. I'm gonna defend Carson Beck right here. Okay. Look, yes, he had those 4 interceptions. Yes, he started struggling a little bit. Look, he blames his teammates a little bit. It's an accountability issue. But he's still just a kid. Even if he is a senior, he's still working towards what he has to be. And He's still trying to figure himself out. It's his first year with Miami. You gotta remember that. First year, probably his last two. And, when he gets drafted, I don't want, like, he is kind of trashing his, like, draft stock right now with, what he's saying and throwing jabs at his teammates. Like, he needs to get his crap together. He's a great QB. He's got natural talent. He just needs to make better reads and get his crap together.
Right.
Before he plummets in the draft stock. Because I guarantee you, like, on everything, coaches are watching what he says. If a coach really wants a player in the NFL, they will watch your every move. They will make sure, like, they want to know what your heart is before what your skill is. So they're watching what you say. They're, like, paying attention to social media. They have got guys who literally scroll social media trying to find you, like, just searching you up on what you say.
Yeah.
So, like, he's got to take accountability for it, like, zero complacency. And, once he gets that together, I think he'll be okay. But there's still a long road ahead of him. Rocky Top 10.
There is. And I wanna bring up our next game. Oh, this one's gonna have you kind of frenzy. I want to know what you thought about it and how you feel.
I can already tell what it's gonna be.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee.
You can
We
obviously
beat
tell.
the Gators into the absolute ground.
Tennessee traveled to the Swamp this weekend and absolutely dominated. It was historic. It was their first win there since 2003. So over.
I am
40
excited.
years.
I am pumped. My brother, he's a Gator fan. I sat on the couch, watched that game next to him, and I'm smiling ear to ear the whole time. I am like watching Joey Aguilar. I'm like the arsonist to the fire. I'm like, I caused this.
Well, let's talk about that Tennessee offense. Aguilar obviously played pretty
ridiculous.
well.
Kitselman was the issue. I'm telling you. You get Ethan Davis in there. You make a scheme around him. He had that huge touchdown run down the sideline, doing a little tippy toes, looking like happy feet out there. He was high stepping into that end zone. So you get Ethan Davis out there, and it starts working, and I'm so excited about it.
It was.
I love Rocky Top, man. You gotta be excited if you're a ball fan. We gotta find a new QB. But once we do that, once we find another Joey Aguilar, we gotta win that game against Oklahoma, though, because we would be in that playoff if we just won the game against Oklahoma and we won the Alabama game.
You would.
Those were. That's what killed us.
Let's talk about that rushing game for Tennessee. They rushed 51 times for 250 yards.
I love Deshaun Bishop and Star Thomas.
The star.
I love those guys.
I'd say the star of the game was Deshaun Bishop. He ran for 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. Florida could not do anything. Tennessee led 31-0 at halftime. Obviously, they didn't score anything after the second half, but they completely took control of the game, Oak. And Florida only managed to get a late field goal and a touchdown later on, in the late game. But it was all Tennessee. It was all Tennessee this weekend. It's a statement win. Tennessee's running game is strong. We know that they can play the game. For Florida, I don't know what you say, right? They obviously fired Napier. What do you say for Florida? How does this look for you? Obviously losing a big game. I'm not a huge game, but a big game for them at home. Now to 3-8.
I will talk about Florida, but before I do that, I want to talk about Deshaun Bishop. So I'm from Carnes, and Deshaun Bishop played high school at Carnes. He was a walk-on Tennessee. He is now their star player. Kids, follow your dreams, man. This dude is he is living proof. If you are good enough and you work hard enough, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. And Deshaun Bishop's living proof of that. He just gets a tad bit faster. He's already super fast, but if he just gets that tad bit faster, puts on a little more strength, has the ability to break a few tackles, he's top NFL caliber running back. He's a nightmare to every defense, whether he has a good game or not. You just have to constantly be checking the backfield for him. Star Thomas came in, played a great game too. Star Thomas had that one on the 3rd and 17. I think he had this huge 40+ yard run to the 1 yard line. That was also a very huge play for Tennessee. And look, it's very hard for me to talk about this and not be biased. So, talk a little bit about Florida. That place was a madhouse before that game. You go to the third quarter, sitting there, That's a defeated crowd right there. That is a defeated crowd. They were laying their hands on their heads. They were screaming the whole time, like, what just happened? It was hilarious.
Definitely a great game from Tennessee. Fortunately, we don't get to see them in the playoffs this year, but they have a promising
So,
future.
no, all it takes is a loss from Ohio State. It's not over yet. Ball fans, it is not over yet. Do not lose hope. We just gotta beat Pavia. It is not over. We will have hope. Whether we do it or not, we will have hope. Or at least a decent bowl game. I'll settle for a decent bowl game. We had Joey Aguilar, bro. Give us a break.
See you in the Music City Bowl, guys.
Ha ha ha. Or some Florida Bowl where the weather's really nice. I'll go play the Texas Gator Bowl again. We can run that back from 2020. I'll run that back. That'd be kind of fun. We can go up. We can go come back from 20 against Indiana again, even though they're gonna be in the playoffs. How's every bad team in the playoffs now? That's like what's happened. Besides Ohio
12-game
State.
format, my friend. 12-game format.
12-game format's ridiculous, bro. I do enjoy it though. It is better because like Tennessee, I will go back to 2022. This was our best year in every sport. Baseball, this was our best year. A lot of people say that 2024 team, man, they were so good, that championship team, but no. 2022, you had Mike Honcho, you had Drew Gilbert. Like, I'm sorry, I'm running it back a little bit, and this isn't even what we talk about on this podcast, but that was our best team. In 2022 for football, that was our best team. You had Hendon Hooker. You had Jalen Hyatt. You could not go wrong. And when Hooker tore his ACL, man, it was a bad day on Rocky Top. So, we ended up finishing, we finished inside 12th that year. We still could have made the playoffs. So, and I go through all this just telling you a little bit about me. I went through that whole explanation just to prove why it's good we have a 12-team playoff bracket now.
Yeah.
If they just brought it a little bit earlier, man, we were this close. If Hooker stayed healthy and won that Heisman, we were this close. ESPN hates Tennessee. No one's going to say it, but, I will. They hate us. They're not, they completely took Hooker out of the race after he torn his ACL, and he was the Heisman favorite. So, and then who they handed to, what's his name? He plays for the Commanders now. He did good his first year, and then his second year, they just tanked really bad. Yeah, so like I said, Jaden Daniels, now he's playing for an awful Commanders team. And,
I wouldn't say
awful, but mediocre. They have a really bad case of USC fever. They are incredibly mediocre. So, like I said, Hooker should have won the Heisman. Okay? We're good. What do you have to say about the Florida game? Because I have said it about, Forrest Gump, and that's all I have to say about that. So, what do you got to say?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like I was talking about, the running game just worked well for Tennessee. They were able to control the game since the beginning. Aguilar played okay, he had a touchdown to 100 yards. I wouldn't say he's an awful QB. He's obviously shown.
I give him a C, but I feel that's a little bit.
Which isn't awful. I mean, that's not awful.
I give him a C to a B minus because don't get me wrong, he's a great kid, but he only had 1 year to learn that hypo scheme, and that hypo scheme is difficult. I am telling you, it takes a scheme. It takes a true scheme QB to learn that beer and shoot. So I just feel bad for him. He didn't really get a lot of preparation. Just Utah.
Another game that went well, I would say, is let's talk about the Oregon and USC game. Oregon took the victory 42-27. High performance game by Oregon. They've put a mark to their playoff spot. Yeah, let's talk about it. Moore threw for about almost 300 yards. He's a good QB. I love him. I love how DJ Moore plays.
Better than Joey Aguilar for sure. That's not even a debate. I'm taking Dylan Moore over Joey Aguilar any day, an all-day Sunday, man.
100%.
That guy's a baller. And, Oregon's not really a high-skilled team, besides that defense and him. So, he's leading that team. They lost a great QB last year. So, just continuing, trying to get that grind, working out, everything. I love Oregon. I don't like Oregon, but, I like Oregon. I don't know how really to explain that. I'm not a Ducks fan, but you gotta have respect for that QB and his defense and what they have going on there.
100%, 100%.
Now, Jordan Maeva, on the other hand. Oh, man, USC. Where do I start? You lost to Vince Young. Then you became mediocre. You've stayed mediocre up until about 3 decades. So, you're still mediocre. How many times do I gotta say it? You're still mediocre. And you never will be good. You never really have been good, no matter how many times Snoop Dogg has backed your team. You've never been good. I don't care if you have Snoop Dogg, okay? Chiefs got Taylor Swift. Look how they're doing. So, I mean, I'm just being honest with y'all. I'm speaking from my heart, and my heart says you guys are mediocre to the square inch. You?
Yeah.
Any words? Just anything?
The Pete Carroll era wasn't good for them.
Pete Carroll was a great coach. Like, he did great with the Seahawks. He had a good run, but
Not at USC. USC, man.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Like,
I mean,
what do you say to a team that's been fighting for 3 decades with just mediocre success year after year after year? I've USC friends every year. They're like, this is gonna be the year. Like, we're gonna do it. And I'm like, have you watched the games? Do you know who your quarterback is? Like, I mean, you've had great QBs, but what about that old QB, Caleb Williams? How's he doing right now? How's he doing right now? How's he doing right now? You know, he's got whoever he's got, so.
he's in the NFL. He's in the NFL.
Yeah, that's not saying a lot when you're like 2-9, buddy.
Not a great Bears team. Not a great Bears team at all.
It's not. Bears were never good, dude. The Bears were never, ever, ever, ever good. If it's not 1970, the Bears are not good. That's just like, if it's not a Walter Payton team, then it's not a team at all. Clearly. Like, I go on YouTube, I can find up for like 5 seconds ways Bears lose a game. Hey, we can get a Hail Mary thrown over us. We can have like a 90-yard run on us. We can have a punt return for a touchdown. We can have a kickoff return for a touchdown. We can really pick our poison any way. We're still going to lose.
It's true.
It's like the Titans.
I hate the Bears.
Pitiful. It's like the Titans, bro. It's pitiful. I live in Tennessee and I still hate the Titans. We are that bad. We are that bad, bro. One good year. Good year. We had one good year with Ryan Tannehill. and then it all fell apart.
No. I'd say they had the Titans. I'd say the Titans had a few good years. I'd say there was a 2.5 year stretch.
2 years.
2019, 2021 season maybe. And I mean, as a Packers fan living in Tennessee, there was like a 2 years in a row where we had a chance for a Packers Titans Super Bowl.
This guy
Screwed it up.
Packers fan. We got a Packers fan, everybody. Jordan Love, lead the dude across the field, not up the field. You would have a touchdown if you let him across the field. Y'all still lost the game.
Yeah, we have one of the best records in the NFL right now, so I'm not worried.
Y'all suck. I'm just gonna be dead honest with you. Jordan Love is the worst QB I've ever seen. I'd rather put Justin Fields in there, dude. I would much rather put Justin Fields in there.
Yeah, Jordan Love hasn't been replaced yet. Justin Fields has been replaced multiple times already.
Exactly. That is precisely my point. Y'all don't replace Jordan Love because y'all have nobody else. And when you have nobody else, you're a bad team. And you're a bad team and you have bad players.
Malik Willis is a pretty good backup, buddy. Malik Willis is a pretty good backup. He gets the job done.
He's the Titans guy. He was the Titans guy. Y'all still going with Titans players.
He gets the job done. We don't need another quarter. We don't have the issue is Matt LaFleur. If we want to talk about it in all seriousness, Matt LaFleur does not need to be play calling for the Packers. He doesn't need to do offense for the Packers. They need to let him go. Our issue is Matt LaFleur. That's the issue.
Okay, then get a good coach in there.
Where they at? We'll take him. Hey, tell Lane Kiffin to come down to Wisconsin. We'll take him at Green Bay.
Hey, we can tell James Franklin Jr. he don't gotta suffer through Virginia Tech no more. He can head on down there because I'm telling you, that's gonna be a train wreck. That is gonna be a train derailed. It's gonna be gone, bro. James Franklin, like, dude, your players kind of carried. Like, not gonna lie. So, you aren't up there with Virginia Tech, dude. You're just asking for a butt kicking. I get you love coaching. I get you're probably gonna make a couple $1 million and it's gonna be real nice, but you're not gonna win games. And they're probably gonna fire you too. Like, I know that's a huge, like, take right now, but it's college football, man. Like, anything could happen. Ohio State they could lose 2 games right now, and the Hoosiers could lose their next game. Like, Vanderbilt could beat us by 30. Whenever Aguilar plays good, our team plays good. I'm sorry I'm going back to Tennessee, but I have to, bro. That is my team. I'm a Knoxvilleian, bro. That is like who I am. That is my identity. Go Vols. Rocky Top.
Go Badgers. Hey, 2 in a row. 2 in a row against ranked opponents. Wisconsin is back. Luke Fickell is back, baby. I just wanted to get it known before we ended the episode. I just wanted
Let's
to get
do
it known.
the Badgers fan. What a
Wisconsin's
Badgers
back.
fan.
Jump around.
Badgers
Go around.
fan.
Also, unfortunately, my Cats lost this weekend to Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt's going to make the playoffs if they can take down this Tennessee team at Neyland Stadium next week.
You're not taking us down. It's Neyland Stadium, bro. We are playing Vanderbilt at Neyland Stadium. If you look, it sounds like okay, but if you think about it for any amount of time, you will realize how many people are going to be there.
Oh, it's going to be packed out.
That's going to be
I would
a very zeroth number. Lots of zeros in that number. Like it's gonna be like 1,000,000,000 people.
I'm excited.
That's only 1,000. I know my math, but it's gonna be a lot more. Okay, it's gonna be like the hundreds of thousands of people, bro.
I guess it depends on how much people Neyland Stadium fits.
There will be more. I can promise you that. However much people fit in Neyland Stadium, there will be more. There will be more. 102,000.
It's going to be a great game.
It's going to be a great game.
It will be. And speaking of that, we will catch you guys next week after the game. If you liked what you heard today, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube Inside the Huddle. Follow us on the Instagram Inside the Huddle as well. We're excited because next week we're getting close to the end of the season. We're getting close to the end of the regular season. College.
Already, bro? It feels like it just started.
It does. It feels like
it just started.
I remember our first episode felt like 2 weeks ago even, but
I know.
Nearing the end of the season, which means we're gonna have NBA to talk about after this. We're gonna have college basketball to talk about soon. We got so much more coming at the end of this college football season. Again, if you liked what you heard, just don't forget to follow us on our socials. We'll put them down there.
At Inside Huddle Podcast. Inside Huddle Podcast. You got it. Let's go. I'm O'Cole and I've got Alex Moss with me. Thank you for listening.